All right, well, we're live.
Cool.
Hey.
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 It's been one of those days. Pretty tired.
I'm super tired.
Yeah.
Super sleepy. Long work day.
Hmm.
How's your guys' week been, though?
That's been all right.
Yeah. Nothing to talk
Low
about,
key.
really. Yeah. It's a good word for it.
Yeah. Had a chill multiplayer stream last night, and
What
that's
did you
about
play?
it, really. We played Power Bomberman, which is this fan game Bomberman game that's actually really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it pretty much has the majority of characters from all Bomberman games throughout history. So like it's got 300 plus characters in it.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And it's got like 38 maps, I think, right now, and they're all have different variants that you can do for each layout. So it's really in depth, and the online is surprisingly good with 12 players.
Wow.
Yeah, I am legitimately impressed when I play it.
Sounds cool.
We also ended up doing some Pictionary as well on Scriblio, I think is the name of the site.
Yep. Scriblio is great.
Yeah. So we did that as well. So it was pretty laid back yesterday.
Nice. Cool.
What about you guys?
What is Scriblio before we change topics?
It's online
Pictionary.
browser-based Pictionary.
I thought I said Pictionary. That's why I was like, wait, didn't I just say
It's
that?
like, think of a chat room with like a screen that you can draw on. Somebody is given a word, they draw it, and then people type in the chat what
Some
that
of those
word
prompts
is.
are awful, though. Some of
Yeah.
those prompts are legitimately bad.
Some of them are just
Like
like
what?
ideas, like dreams. Like they're just like weird, some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got Scotland and Steve Jobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I once got Mark Zuckerberg when I was testing things.
That
Oh,
you just do
man.
like the Facebook logo.
The Facebook logo, yeah.
Yeah,
But
or
the
like
Facebook logo is also a prompt.
Or like a dude with a shirt and a lizard head or something. You could do that too, because he's a lizard man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. I don't know how well your team would get it, but yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, my week's been just chilling. I'm going to my parents this weekend, tomorrow, and for the weekend, so that'll be exciting. But other than that, nothing new here.
I'm writing everyone's sticker letters as we do the show. It's
Ooh.
letter
Nice.
cast.
Nice. All right.
Nothing much going down over here. Let's see. I finished The Witcher,
The show.
the show.
Yeah.
I'm about to finish BoJack Horseman. I finished The Good Place.
Yeah. The Good Place is done now. That's true.
Yeah. I have one episode left of BoJack Horseman, so I'll be wrapping that up tonight as well. I guess I'm gonna go see Birds of Prey this weekend because apparently it's good, which I was
There's no
shocked
way.
to hear.
Okay.
It's at
I've
like
heard mixed to
90%
good.
on Rotten
Huh.
Tomatoes.
Well, I guess I'll use some scene points for that one, I guess. That seems like a good free movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked because Suicide Squad is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's really abhorrently bad.
It's a bad movie for sure.
Yeah.
So, but oh well, guess we'll find out about that this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm watching the it got added to Netflix a couple weeks back, the Nino Cooney movie right
Okay.
now.
Uh-huh.
Just in like
a Cooney movie.
yeah, one came out in I think in Japan, and then it got ported to Netflix over here. I'm just watching it in like fits and starts on the train, so I think I'm like 2/3 of the way through it, and it's fine.
Do you need to like know anything about that universe to watch it?
No,
Or okay,
not at
cool.
all.
Cool.
Not at all. It doesn't relate to the games either. It's its own story.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So yeah, you're good.
Neat.
Well, let's just get right into it then. February 6th. This is the Top Down Perspective. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
And while I write letters, John, why don't you talk about what you've been playing?
All right. Well, February, new month means new game voted for with my subs for game clearing.
Sure.
They voted on Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh man. Okay, that's cool.
And I chose to play it on hard, and that might have been a mistake, but it's been interesting to play so far.
Okay.
It's rough. It's rougher than I expected because they shorten the time limits you have on the escapes,
Oh, okay.
and
Yep.
the boss fights time limits are shorter too, which is also mean.
Gotcha. Okay. Huh.
But it's been fun to play so far. It's pretty Wario Land. The escapes seem fun, despite like the shorter time limits.
Yeah.
The gimmicks of some of the stages are really cool. I like the board game design stage, although there's some frustrations with trying to get everything on that first run. There's like a little spinner, like it'll just show up. You roll like 1 to 6, and there's a board on the bottom of the screen, and whatever effect you land on is what happens in the room. And the game wants you to get certain effects in certain rooms to unlock everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
There's
think
also
this is the only Wario Land I haven't played.
a lot of people have said like it's not their favorite. It's weird. Like a lot of people have been like, yeah, no, 4 is one of the weaker ones, which is funny because I also had a bunch of people being like, yeah, it's my favorite. Thanks for playing it. So it's like I haven't seen anyone be so like it's so divisive.
I played the Game Boy ones. I think the first 3. I think so. Which was the one? Maybe they're all like this, where the level select screen kind of looks like a flow chart.
Yeah, that's Wario Land 2.
I played a lot of Wario Land 2, if I remember correctly.
Wario Land 2 was where they like made him invincible and he just transformed a bunch whenever he got hit by certain enemies. That was where they started all that.
Mm.
That one's got some cool ideas. Other than that, yeah, so we are halfway through the game, so we're gonna wrap that up probably Monday, or do our best to, anyways.
Cool.
Other than that, in my free time, I started playing the Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening remake on the Switch.
Yeah. So, are you having a good time with it? This is one that
game's
I've
good.
been looking at.
I liked it last year.
It's all right. So what I'm doing is I'm playing through it on is it hero mode, I think they call it.
Sure. Yeah.
The one where everything does more damage and you don't get random heart drops.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a bit rougher than I remember Link's Awakening being, but it also makes it feel a lot fresher because of that.
Okay.
Do that color dungeon as soon as possible.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get the defense one as soon as I can.
Oh, I did offense, but you probably
you're-
need the defense because of your
I
hero
probably need the defense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It handles good. One of my major gripes so far is that I can't use the D-pad to control the game. A little bummed out about that. Have to use a stick.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why they
Okay.
don't even give you the option.
Hmm.
They just straight up is like there's no option for it.
Weird.
Huh, I didn't even think about that because since I play mostly handheld, I never want to use the D-pad.
I never want to use anything but the D-pad if I can help it.
in handheld mode. Yeah.
On the Joy-Cons, just the 4 circle buttons?
On everything.
Yeah, that's great.
No, thank you.
Not too far into it. I'm only in like the first dungeon right now, but yeah, graphically it's good. Music is really good. I like the remixed music.
Cool.
Never thought I would hear toy piano music worked into a Zelda game, but here we are.
Uh-huh.
Weird frame rate hiccups, which a lot of people have talked about when the game first came out. This
is what I've heard.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in a first party title of all things.
Did you play original Link's Awakening?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite Zelda game.
It's your favorite Zelda game?
Yes.
Including like Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
The man of taste.
That is...
It's definitely in my top 5 for sure.
That is just such a surprise to me.
Why?
Wow.
Yeah, I think he said this before, actually.
Yeah, this is definitely not a hidden secret. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay. Why is it your favorite Zelda? I'm super curious. Because I think it's one of the weakest ones.
It's one of the first ones I was able to play through fully. I like the flow of it. I like that it's pretty much pick up and drop it. I like the fact that there's fun glitches you could play around with it. Like you can just warp around stages if you want to. It was really fun to break it apart. I liked hunting. it was fun just figuring out where all the seashells were and all the heart pieces. There were less heart pieces to worry about, so it wasn't as hard to track down and get everything like there are in other versions. This one adds in more heart containers, so now everything's throwing me off. I'm like, is there another one here? Like the fishing minigame had 2, and I was confused about that. It was just like a fun little thing. I like the fact that they had weird weapon combinations that you normally wouldn't get, like the Rock's Feather and the Pegasus boots. So you could combine those two, not have swords, but you could just fly around everywhere. It just felt kind of experimental and fun.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of still feel a bit of that with the remake here. There's some weird quirks to it so far. The crane game at the beginning was really weird. Because they put like physics on the objects. So I grabbed the Yoshi doll, and then it somehow careened when the arm started moving back forward, back to the exit. It like flew out and bounced around.
Oh, so now I know what you're talking about. If I remember correctly, that thing sucked in the Game Boy version as well.
No, it's piss easy in the Game Boy one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It is piss
it is
easy
super annoying in this one for sure.
Yeah. No, the heart container I grabbed because they put a heart container in there. It landed upside down and kept wobbling around weirdly. It was really strange, but I got it, and I never need to do it again.
Isn't there two things you need to do with it?
Yeah, Yoshi doll and the heart container.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, fun game. I'll see if it holds up as well as the Game Boy one did in my mind, but so far seems all right. That's about all I've been playing.
Cool.
Paul, you keep going.
Yeah, I finished off Remnant with a buddy. That game shits itself in the last boss. That boss is fucking terrible, and I hate that game. There's nothing else to say about it. Fuck that game.
Wow.
It went from being okay to being garbage. Bad design. Good job, guys. You fucked it up.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I didn't think it was.
It's garbage.
Like, terrible. It's
well,
not great for co-op.
Yeah, it's like randomly one of us is just doing nothing, and you literally can't do anything to that boss without that buff you get. Fuck that boss. Fuck that fight. Fuck that game. Nothing more to say about it.
I mean, the rest of the game's totally fine.
No, it's boring. There's nothing interesting. The forest that you get to at the end is like the most visually interesting part, and at that point I was done. So it's just like, okay, this is at least cool looking. So there's that. I guess.
But so you must have put like close to 12 hours into this game.
10.
So, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't have been that bad if you put 10 hours into it.
No, I just like to see things through.
So instead of like going and playing a game you enjoyed, you were like, I'm gonna beat this game that I supposedly hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I hate it until the end. And then at the end I was just like, well, this is literally the last boss. I fucking hate this. I was ready to quit, but then I was just like, let's just like do this until we're done. I should have just quit at that boss. Like when I wanted to be done, we should have just quit rather than like finish it off. But whatever. Now it's uninstalled and we're ready to go on Gears 5, I think. Actually, the next one I think we're going to be doing is Youngblood, Wolfenstein, especially because that's on Game Pass now for PC. So that's going to be interesting because I haven't heard great things about that one. So
yeah, like that one's final boss.
Great.
Really sucks.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Batting 1,000, Paul. Batting 1,000.
Why can't games just stick the landing, man? Why is it always the ending that they're like?
I mean, if I can make a recommendation, like over playing like a good game versus a bad game, like go play Gears 5. It's a way better game.
I mean, we'll be playing both at some point, so.
Okay, I'm just trying to say, like, save yourself the time.
Mm-hmm.
Only invite joy into your life.
That's not how gaming works, Paul. Or Sean.
It totally can be. There's plenty of good games you haven't played. Just play good games if you want.
No, I've played only good games.
That's not how it works.
There's only bad games now. I played every good game around. So now we're scraping the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. We're just looking for more co-op stuff. I think Gears 5 will be the new one, the next one we do, rather. And then probably Wolfenstein, because I don't think Gears 5 is going to be very long. Honestly, I don't think Wolfenstein is going to be that long either, frankly. We also have to go back to Ashen for that DLC at some point. That might be okay. That DLC looked okay, so... Yeah, there. I mean, the other thing I've been playing is our TDP Plus game, so I'm not going to talk about that here. So that's all I've been playing this week. Unless you want to hear more about 3D P-Cross, Voxelgram, because they added more stuff to the workshop, so I have another 50 things to go through, which is neat.
Jeez.
That thing will just never stop, in theory.
In theory.
Yeah, until they stop supporting things for it, I guess, but... Yeah,
I'm calling it now. I bet one of these letters gets sent back to me because some of these people don't know what their address is. But I'm writing it down just as they sent it. That's all I can do. I'm not your parent.
Wow.
The harsh truths.
The harsh truth.
Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. I'm just saying if I'm betting $10, the one I just wrote's coming back to me.
Okay. What about you, Sean? What have you played this week?
I've been playing a bunch.
You've been playing some good stuff in here.
Yeah. So I finished World War Z, and by finished I mean I've gone through each of the campaign stages once.
Sure.
On the easiest difficulty, because the game is designed for you to just like grind forever until you unlock all the like cosmetic items, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that, so I just played through on the first difficulty of each one of those. That was fun. It was cool. They do some fun stuff that like Left 4 Dead didn't do, of like, oh, you need to have two people in like separate areas. One has to press this button, and then they have to correspond with what light shows up over here and stuff.
Is that the laboratory?
I
can't remember.
That's not the one I was thinking of. I'm trying to remember the laboratory. The one I was thinking of is a subway station. I think it's Tokyo. We have to find like a room with a red light, and there's like 2 floors.
Oh,
you have
it's
to keep
been
going down to like the breaker room and stuff.
You're probably right. Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, we ran into someone, and so they couldn't hear me and my buddy talking because we were in a party chat. But I don't know how the games do this. I remember talking about this with Siege. I can still hear the in-game chat sometimes, but they can't hear me.
Okay.
So it's like you can get 2 feeds going into your head.
Yeah.
Which is okay. That's fine. Whatever. Anyway, so that was happening. And we had someone pop up who was basically narrating what they were doing to the point that we're like, is this little girl streaming right now?
Oh.
Because the way she was talking was like, oh man, no one's helping me. Oh man, what's going to be in here? Oh, there's zombies right in here. Someone's got to come help me. Like, if you were streaming, kind of how you'd be like narrating yourself.
So the weird thing is, though, is that like, was it like a younger girl? Because I know kids like are kind of enamored with like YouTubers and stuff, so they might just be used to doing that.
I mean, I can't tell you how old this person was, but the voice, like, it took a second. I was like, is this a girl or a young boy?
Sure.
And me and my buddy said, like, we landed on, we think it's a girl.
Okay.
They had YT at the end of their gamer tag, which also made us think like, oh, they're probably streaming on YouTube.
Likely
right?
YouTube, yeah.
We looked them up because we're like, if they're streaming right now, let's look on YouTube to see like our game that we're playing. We could not find them anywhere, so who knows? Who knows? But that was just kind of a weird thing we ran into. But yeah, World War Z is good. That's a fun game.
Yep.
It's on Game. Sure. It's on Game Pass. I've played maybe an hour of Gylt, which is the Stadia exclusive game.
I need to hear about this.
They added it to Stadia Pro this month. So when I saw that news, I was like, it looks like I'm gonna play a game on Stadia. Like I finally have a reason to play the game on Stadia, because up until this point, it was a bunch of games I already had that I've already played that, or I don't want to play, or there's no reason for me to play it because I have no one on the friends list.
Yeah.
They finally gave me a reason that I couldn't argue with. They gave me a game that said, you can't play this anywhere else. And I was like, okay, well, then I guess I'll play it on Stadia.
Mm-hmm.
I played about an hour. It seems fine. there's some hitching between like when the cutscene ends and when your character can move. Like, you know, when
Okay.
you're playing a game and there's a camera angle that you can always tell once the camera has stopped moving and it's hit this camera angle, I probably have control and I can move now. It's just a thing you pick up when you play a lot of games. You kind of have a feeling like, oh, now is when it's in control. It'll do that, but it'll sit there for like a solid second or two before my character starts moving. So I can't tell if it's just like still loading or if there is some like lag with the server. And I guess that's something I will never be able to determine with Stadia. Is the game running poorly or is this a server thing?
Yeah, that's true.
I want to say it's
Interesting.
just something weird about how the cutscenes are handled in relation to the gameplay, because the gameplay itself was not lagging in any way.
And I've seen other games have that issue too, like that are installed on my hard drive and stuff. So it's probably that.
Right. I did run into a couple like, oh, the frame rate dropped a little bit at sections.
Okay.
Nothing like that was like ruining the experience really for me. Nothing crazy of like, you know, games drop frame rates all the time. John was just talking about some of it. So it just kind of seemed like that. It wasn't like a holy smokes, this Stadia is fucked. Like, I'm not in no way am I doing that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I think they added the ability that the controller can now connect to your Wi-Fi. I believe that was one of the things they had announced, and I don't think it came at launch. I believe that's up now.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to try it, like moving from my TV to my computer, but every time I loaded up my TV, I just didn't want to get off the couch and turn my computer on.
Yeah.
So the whole like you got to do this for science was not more powerful than me wanting to get up off the couch.
Fair enough. Sure.
But I should do that. I should do that for science. Anyway, I tried playing it at work, and I have one of those 8-bit DOE controllers at work that'll connect to like the Mac I use.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, even when Stadia pops up a little notification saying like controller linked, it would not use the controller.
Huh.
The Stadia platform itself was saying to me, "You are good to go."
Yeah.
And then I would turn on Gylt, and I could not make anything move on the main menu with that controller.
So that's probably a game problem then, right? Like it's not built to recognize it or something. That's weird.
I don't know. Like it's just like a Bluetooth controller. Like why not?
Yeah.
I can't figure that out. And I was seeing people online saying like, "Oh yeah, no, works for me."
Oh, okay.
Huh. I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening there. I even did it wired. I even just plugged it right in. No. Just would not happen. But anyway, so I would have played more of it, but it wasn't rolling my controller, and I was like, I do not want to play this with a mouse and keyboard, so no thanks.
Sure.
Which means instead my lunch breaks have been filled with Puzzle Quest on the Switch.
Yes.
Which I've never played before.
Yeah, because this came out a couple weeks ago, right? I was looking into it.
It came out last year, like October, November-ish.
That long ago?
And
Jesus.
It's just the original Puzzle Quest with like a bit of some new campaign stuff, I believe. I didn't quite look into it because all of it's new to me.
Sure,
so unless they like really said this is the new stuff, I wouldn't really know. And there isn't anything on the main menu that's like, hey, here's the new stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's just kind of integrated into the campaign. But yeah, I never played Puzzle Quest back when it was huge on the PSP. And then I remember the Xbox Live Arcade version being pretty popular as well.
There was a DS one as well that people liked. That's the version I played.
All right. This game definitely sounds old. The voice acting is
pretty bad.
Extremely robotic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Like it's at a level of like on the scale of like a human to Microsoft Sam. It's like one notch above Microsoft Sam whenever you win.
Damn.
Oh,
it's like victory. It's just like weirdly robotic about that. You know, there's no like animations to the characters when they're talking to each other. They just look like still cutouts that just kind of look bad and old.
Yeah.
But the game is fun. I'm down for some match 3. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I hear you.
With the special moves and whatnot. I like that you can just play through the campaign with whatever like character class you want. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Sorry, I was thinking Puzzle and Dragons Gold was recent. I wasn't thinking Puzzle Quest. My bad. I was looking it up.
Where was I at? Oh, and I like the music quite a bit because it reminds me of the Xbox Live version of Carcassonne.
Okay.
The whole kind of setup just reminds me of like a German board game made into a digital version.
Mm-hmm.
It has that kind of soundtrack and look to it, which the nostalgia factor just kind of makes me happy as I play it. So that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just kind of slowly matching 3, fighting spiders as we match 3 and cast spells at each other.
As you do, for sure.
I've been playing some Apex because season 4 came out this Tuesday.
Yeah, new character, right?
New character Revenant.
Okay.
For those who weren't following along, they actually did something pretty fun when they announced this character. They had teased this character since like October-ish during the Halloween event.
Okay.
So everyone on the Reddit was like, "Oh yeah, Revenant's the next one. Revenant's the next one. He's gonna come. He's gonna come." Blah 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 blah. And then they came out about a week or 2 ago and was like, "Hey, here's the info on season 4, and here's the new character. It's this guy named Forge." And they showed off this new guy named Forge, and he's the new character. Blah blah blah. And then they put out a video a few days, about half a week before season 4 dropped, of like a fake interview, just like an animated video of a newscaster interviewing Forge, and Forge gets murdered by Revenant in that video.
That's pretty
Turns
good.
out it is going to be Revenant, so that was pretty fun. Revenant's cool. I barely played as him because if I'm not the person who gets to choose their character first, someone else will pick Revenant.
Right. New character
So
problems.
I gotta wait like a week or 2 before that. But it's not a brand new map. They just mixed up the second map, which is the current map, World's End, and that's fun. So
Okay.
just back to Apex, back to the new battle pass, back on that grind.
So what's his thing? What's his whole
He can climb higher and faster than the other characters.
Okay.
He can put down this orb that like nullifies special abilities for anyone kind of inside of like a radius near it.
Oh.
And he also has, which I've actually never done it myself because the one time I get to play as him, we got killed pretty quick. He can put down this this pylon, which if you enter the pylon and then stay within a radius around it while you're playing, like it's like you go into the pylon and it kind of puts you into this like different state.
Okay.
Inside the same game. If you die in that state, instead of dying, you just go back to the pylon with 1 health. So it kind of gives you like a second life.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
How often can you do that? Just once per game, or
no? The ultimates will go up. They all scale up at a certain
ultimate
amount. So
I get you.
Yeah, it's his ultimate. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
And then the last thing I played is Overcooked 2 put out more free DLC last week. They're like Year of the Rat New Year's DLC, so they put 5 new levels. What was some of this? Like stir fry was one. I think dumplings was another one like that. But just here's your public service announcement that there's more free Overcooked 2 DLC. So go play Overcooked DLC. Overcooked 2. Some might say it is the best game of last year.
Definitely one of the 10, I'm sure.
Yeah. But that's all I've been playing. So let's go through all of this news.
Yeah. So I had to bring this up because this actually dropped, I think, last week when we were doing episode 500 with Nathan. So Death Stranding has this thing where anytime you go into an area with BTs, which are their like weird void ghosts things in the game, it does this like little canned animation of you being real scared and things being real scary, and then when you get closer to one, your BB starts freaking out and like your mechanics go all worry, and like it does 2 canned animations. So for the longest time I thought this is hiding a load to make sure that like everything is seamless when you're in the world. And like anytime like you're in a ghost area, it's hiding like a load of the ghosts behind this thing or whatever. Apparently I'm wrong, because they just patched that out and you can just turn that off now. So every time you go into an area, you're not stopped for like 15 seconds for no reason. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
I don't know. I felt like that. I mean, I didn't think it was a load because it was so short, but it kind of like signifies to me like, oh no, you do need to be serious right now. Like this isn't just rain, kind of a thing.
Oh really? I found it
So
fucking annoying.
I liked it.
I hated it. It's the most annoying thing in that game. Anyways, you can turn it off now if you want to. That's an option. And apparently it'll be that way for the PC version as well. This was interesting to see. Wonderful 101, the like only Wii U exclusive game that I didn't really try or buy at the time. They're bringing back Remastered to Kickstarter, and it's coming out on Switch, Steam, and PS4. So
Yeah, this thing got crowdfunded extremely fast.
yeah. Did either of you play
They were
it?
also basically done. Like their initial stretch goal was like laughable. It was basically just like, hey, come pre-order this thing right now.
Yeah, it was like 50,000.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah,
and
they
it
said
comes,
the game
and the
is
other thing
coming
is
out
it
in
comes out in
April.
March. Like that game is
Is it March? I
done.
thought it was April. It's like close.
I thought it was March. Maybe it's April. But either way, like it's kind of curious. Like what was the clearly you were done with the Switch port. Like why make a big Kickstarter about this?
Yeah. Either of you play Wonderful 101?
Yeah, it crashed on me on the Wii U a couple times. I was kind of turned off on it because of that. I've heard it's
finished
really
it.
charming though.
Yeah,
One
I've
of the
heard that.
funniest games I've played. I can't tell you why at all.
Okay.
I don't remember. I just remember coming out of that and being like, this game is hilarious.
Okay. So I'm excited to check it out now, is why I grabbed this news, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of on the cheap end as well. I think the remaster with the Kickstarter was like $32 or something like that.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah, either way, I'm stoked. So that's
Did you
coming
see
out.
some of the reward tiers though? Because there's a really funny one.
Yeah, get blocked by Kamiya, the director of the game.
Yeah, on Twitter. That's quite funny.
Yeah, but
Still has 28 to 20.
You don't need to pay for that. That's real easy.
28 days to go.
Okay.
$36 American gets you a digital copy.
Yeah. And like Lineback saying, glorified pre-orders, also like free PR to just like put it on Kickstarter and just be like, see, look how fast it went off. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of weird PR reasons why they did this, but either way, I'm stoked that it's coming out in general.
Where'd you find the info about it already having you're coming out soon? I'm trying to find that question now.
Oh, it's April. That's in the pledge thing. The estimated delivery, it's April 2020.
Oh, okay. So they didn't outright say it. It's just they're like, yeah, probably. Yeah, estimated delivery April 2020.
Speaking of Overcooked, I guess, as Sean was speaking about that, moving out, that weird moving version of Overcooked has a release date now of April 28th. So that's going to be interesting. That looks cute. I'll probably check that out. In other news, Fallout 76 is coming to Steam, apparently, on April 7th. So if you've been waiting to check that out, I recommend don't. But if you want to, it's coming out on Steam April 7th, and you can do that. Saints Row 4 is coming out on the Switch March 27th, which seems weird.
Seems like a bad way to play that game.
It kind of does. I'm not like, maybe it's not. I have no idea, but it doesn't seem like it would be a great way to do it, honestly. I don't know. Weird. And this was interesting. Arc System Works has a retro brawler, the Double Dragon Anthology, and other Kunio bundle stuff coming out on February 20th? That's actually pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So that seems interesting.
So it's all the Double Dragon games, at least like the original 3 on the NES, and then all the Kunio-kun games from the NES, and I think some SNES stuff too. So that means for us, we got River City Ransom and Crash and the Boys. We're going to get all the other ones too, like their hockey game, their basketball game, the other like beat 'em ups that they did, like Renegade and stuff like that too. So it's actually looking like a really good collection. And apparently they all have online as well.
Mm-hmm. This was given to us on Twitter, and like, yes, we're excited about it because we've been talking about it for a while. Murder by Numbers finally has a release date, and it's March 5th.
Hell yeah, this game cannot come soon enough.
Agreed. And it's coming before, like I was saying, like before the show, before the shitstorm of stuff in March. So
that's true.
We'll
yeah,
have
because once
time.
Animal Crossing hits, like it's gonna be hard playing other
Animal
stuff for a
Crossing
bit.
and Doom, yeah, the same day.
I was just thinking, because I saw one of those like Twitter accounts that's like, hey, this is the like percentage of the year that's already over. And I guess today marks 10% of the year is done, which seems like, wow, it's really fast this year already. But then Animal Crossing also seems like a million years away.
Yeah. That's kind of it for big stuff. Like it was said in the chat, I just didn't bother talking about it. PSO2 is coming to Steam, and that's dope. But yeah. So Nintendo's deciding that subscription services for their free mobile stuff is still a good idea, and they're introducing that to Fire Emblem Heroes. $9.50 a month, or sorry, $9.49 a month service for gameplay boosts, of which are stuff
crazy.
like the ability to rewind time back a turn and to auto start AI multiple battles in a row, so that like you don't have to go through the just bullshit of doing that yourself.
So you don't have to play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, if you were pissed off about Mario Kart Tour, this is double the price for a subscription. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Whatever. This thing makes so much money for them. Like, I'm sure this thing is going to sell a lot.
Sure. Let's keep the shit train going. So this has been a weird time for that Warcraft 3 remake, the Reforged, because people were pissed off, first of all, when it came out. The final product didn't follow up exactly how people thought it would follow up with like the little cutscenes in game and stuff, because they kind of advertised it where the cutscenes were a little more fully fleshed out and there's still the way they used to be. I don't know. This seems like a weird thing to get mad about, but people are mad about it either way. The more important thing about that people were mad about is that there is a exclusivity agreement when you go onto the Warcraft 3 Reforged thing that you have to like sign up for or agree to, which is literally if you do anything for like their modifications for their like custom games or custom maps, they just own all of that shit, including if you added anything to it, not just use their stuff. If it's through their client, they now own it, and they own you basically. Obviously they took it pretty hard that Dota was used in Warcraft 3, became a huge hit, became its own genre of game, and they had no rights to it. So now they're trying to cut that off by saying, no, if you use our thing, we fucking own you. So that pissed people off too. For people that maybe
imagine why.
Yeah, for people that maybe don't know or are too young or just don't care or whatever, one of the things that was dope about Warcraft 3 is that it had a huge mod scene of custom maps and game types in the game, which is why stuff like Dota came to be and like other stuff at the time. Actually, a lot of the Blizzard stuff. So this is kind of killing a big reason why people actually cared about Warcraft 3 in general. But I guess on the plus side, to say sorry, they said, we're just going to offer full refunds for anybody who wants them. So if you pre-ordered or bought the game, found all this shit out, and you're pissed off, you can just get your money back. No questions asked. So
at least they're willing to do that.
I guess there's that. So yeah, that's it's been a weird time for them. It really seems like they're trying to kill their own company off with some of the moves they were making. But whatever. Danhauser left Rockstar. That's fucking weird. I guess
this is super weird.
So for people who don't know, Dan Houser is one of the co-founders and the head writer for the studio. So apparently his last day will be March 11th of this year.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not
been
like a
involved in
retirement
like
thing, he's
basically
just-
everything.
Yeah.
He's one of the core creative people. The other Hauser brother, I think, was like on the business side, and then he was in the creative writing part. So like, I was looking at a list, and it's like everything story based. He was like in charge of basically for those stories. So it's
Yep.
super curious to think what like a GTA 6 might be.
Yeah.
Do they even need to do story anymore? GTA 5 Online is making them all the money ever? Like all the money goes into GTA 5, right? Everyone's money. We have a direct
much.
line to my bank account.
I
Might as
mean,
well.
you're the one out of the three of us that liked Red Dead 2.
I do like Red Dead 2. And they're putting everything into Red Dead Online as well. Not doing any
that's true.
single player.
So are you saddened
DLC
by
like
the
last time.
idea that like there won't be like a good story based, well, there might not be a good story based thing coming out of Rockstar, and they're only going to focus on kind of like multiplayer like replayability?
Well, I think this is like kind of two questions. Like kind
Yeah.
of what is the next step? What is the next game Rockstar announces? Will it have any kind of single player component?
Right.
Do they even need to like make a new game, or do they just port Grand Theft Auto 5 to the next consoles so that GTA Online can keep going?
Yeah, true.
I'm curious if a story thing does come out, does it feel different? I'm not going to say Dan Houser did everything because I'm sure there's a full team
Oh, for sure.
working on it.
He was a creative lead for the Red Dead Redemption games specifically, though, as well. So those might feel very different.
Yeah, like I'm curious if there is like a different feeling towards it.
Yeah,
Who knows? I'm just honestly curious, like what is next?
totally.
If we can even feel anything, but yeah.
Totally.
Where's my tabletop 2? That's the big question.
Table
Yep.
tennis too, you mean?
Table tennis 2. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I guess like going on with this news and kind of tying it back into the Blizzard thing, the studio head for the Coalition, Rod Ferguson, left the Coalition, head for the Gears of War games, for anybody who might not remember. And he's joining Blizzard to oversee the Diablo series development. So just the head of Diablo.
Oh.
Right? Weird. That's a weird transition, but I don't know. I don't know what this even means for
Get
Diablo.
that money.
One game's about demon creatures that come out of the ground and kill people. The other one is about demon creatures that come out of the ground and wear do-rags.
Yeah, but one has chainsaw guns.
Yeah, the other one probably has like
so what you're saying is the new Diablo's gonna have chainsaws. That
I
sounds
kind of
awesome.
hope so. Yeah, if that's the only thing that they bring to it, I'll be happy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is like a good or a bad thing. I guess I like the Gears of War games, and I would like to like
not enough to
Diablo.
play 5 before Wolfenstein Youngblood.
It's because I played Gears 4 so recently, rather. I just found this interesting. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is the first fighting game with full crossplay compatibility between all 4 versions. So PC, Xbox One, Switch, and PS4 can all exist in the crossplay pool. And that's for everything. Apparently ranked, casual, direct, and lobby matches.
Nice.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Speaking of like crossplay stuff, this is just a side anecdote. Did you guys see the quote from Phil Spencer this week saying he doesn't consider Sony a competitor anymore? The competitors are Google and Amazon.
Yeah. It makes sense because I think Microsoft are definitely going in that direction of they want to be a global like platform rather than just like an electronics distributor, essentially.
Right. I feel like it kind of shows that they're thinking more long term in my opinion.
For sure. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we've already been having this fight, but guess what? There's a bigger fight coming. We need to get ready for that.
And
that's what we're doing right now.
I think they've kind of always wanted to be that. They've always wanted the idea of the Xbox to just be a home entertainment like hub or something. And like, unfortunately, they've just hitched their wagon to some like losers, like the HD DVDs and stuff, rather than Blu-rays. But yeah, no, I think Microsoft has always just wanted to be more of a platform than just like a console and TV manufacturer or whatever. So it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
They're not even looking at, because they don't even look at Nintendo as a competitor. Like, they're really trying to get in the Amazon and Google market for sure. And I think
they don't look at Nintendo as a competitor. That's why they're giving them their games. That's why Ori's on there.
Yeah, because they know that like we would rather just have our brand on your thing because we don't care really.
Right, and that's with all the rumors of like, you know, Xbox Live showing up on a Switch. Sure. They're like, we don't care where you play it, but if you're gonna play our games, that's cool.
Yeah. Were there people like upset about this? Like, did this cause a shitstorm?
I didn't look too much into it. I just kind of saw the headlines.
Sure.
And it's just, you know, it's just like it's a flashy headline of Microsoft basically saying like,
yeah,
we're not even looking at Sony.
Right.
Because that's the, you know, that's the console war that everyone else is storming the forums with. It's also kind of interesting for them to say when they're behind Sony.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a power move.
I mean, it could be like, we don't even care about you, but I've never even thought that they're trying for the same thing, which is why when I see people just be like, the PlayStation 5 is going to outperform the Xbox SX or whatever, it's like, yeah, probably, but Microsoft is going to be on every other fucking system. Like, so what? Microsoft isn't pushing for the biggest thing. They have computers. I'm using a Microsoft thing right now.
Yeah, they won computers more or less, so.
Yeah. So like they could put out something a little like less so, but like still competitive on the console market. They're making bigger plays than Sony is.
It's definitely interesting to me. Yeah, specifically that last point. Like they're losing kind of in the sales against the PS4. Like the PS4 is always ahead.
Sure.
But like when you ask me like which one is like making more interesting plays, which one is doing like cooler stuff for games right now, I think it's Xbox hands down. With like Game Pass is insanely good, a good deal. Project X Cloud, I cannot wait to get my hands on that, and like Google can barely keep up with that.
Yeah.
And then you look at Sony, who's like, no, we don't want to do crossplay. Our PlayStation Plus lineup sucks every month.
Generally, yeah. Like,
in fact, like I think it was like a year ago today, month? They're like. This month actually was better than most because they added a third game. But I remember a year ago when they're like, we're getting rid of there being like 4 games now. Now it's down to 2.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Xbox is over here being like, hey, guess what? It's a new week. Here's 3 more games for Game Pass. Just cause.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft is definitely going for a bigger play. Sony seems content on just being like, we just want to make a console that people buy in like in droves and then barely support it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Sony is like at a place of complacency of like,
for sure,
we're in the lead, we're just gonna chill out here, and then Microsoft is like clawing tooth and nail to pass them.
And I hope they do, because then it'll force Sony to be better. Competition's always good. So
for sure, and I think Microsoft deserves it. Like. They continue to put out the most powerful console. It seems like they're going to keep trying to do that. They're doing cool stuff with like the adaptive controller. Like they're doing all these cool things. And Sony's like, hey, we got Spider-Man and we got Last of Us 2 and we'll see you next year.
But like at the same time, that's all they need to do, because then it's like, I want Spider-Man. I want Last of Us 2. So yeah,
right. They're putting out great games, but they seem to be putting out less and less.
Yeah, they are.
Or they're like
for sure.
really spreading them out.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't go to E3 the last year because they were like, we don't have much to show. We'll wait.
Yeah.
Whereas Microsoft's like, yo, we got tons to show. We just bought 5 more studios.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good that they're buying more studios and getting stuff. Because like that's kind of what Sony hired a bunch of good studios to make great games. So they don't have to like show a lot of stuff. They just show stuff that you want to buy. And I'm hoping Microsoft just keeps getting behind that idea, as well as expand I just want, and then like you have Nintendo in the corner, the weird art kid, just being like, we made this weird thing that you can plug into a dock. It's like, all right, cool.
I mean, they've always been on the side of like, we're not really competing with you. We got our own thing.
Which I'm so grateful for.
I feel like most people are like, no, you have the Nintendo console and you have one of the other ones. For
totally.
the most part.
Yeah, totally.
I'm super curious to see if there's any kind of sway with the console launches. Like if Xbox picks it up a bit with like which one's more popular, or if it's just going to be like PS4 is so popular, people are just going to stick in that ecosystem.
I think
it's the case too. Like if that's where your friends are, you're probably going to stick in that ecosystem.
That's what it is. It's always where your friends are, for sure.
I just couldn't imagine being a quote unquote hardcore gamer and not having access to like Game Pass, arguably like the best deal in games right now. Like I would feel like I'm missing out so much.
I really hate like feeling like I'm shilling for like a thing, like a subscription service, but man, Game Pass has been so freaking good. It's
not shilling it if you like it. Like you're giving a recommendation. You're like you would tell your friends, no, you should play this game. You should play Game Pass. I felt like it's kind of. I remember you saying, man, I feel like I'm missing out on Apple Arcade a bit when that first came out because there was tons of good stuff.
There probably is still tons of good stuff, but nobody says shit about what's coming out on it.
Being honest, personally, I'm still keeping an eye on it, and they're not putting out as cool of stuff as that first launch.
Sure.
I bought in for a year, so I'm going to be there at least until the fall. I don't know about after that, but it's definitely taken a decline. But I still have a backlog of arcade stuff to go through. They put out so much in those first couple months.
Sure. I guess. Oh, you did grab this other thing. Cool. Okay. Castlevania Season 3 is coming to Netflix next month in March. So that's going to be fun. I'm stoked for that. Ready for more Castlevania. And I'm going to take one of yours that you grabbed. I just didn't know if we were going to talk about it. The Outer Worlds Switch version got delayed due to the coronavirus and them just being like, we don't want to like rush things and try to meet deadlines when the people can't work properly.
People are being quarantined. No. Super weird. Fun anecdote. My girlfriend was supposed to be going to China tomorrow.
Yeah.
She was all up still going for it until about a week and a half ago, I want to say, which is already kind of past the point of everyone being like, no, you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
But her but she was like, it's only like it's like less than 1% of the population. I'm going to the opposite side of the country. Like this was all our arguments and stuff. And I was just being there like, okay. I mean, I might not hang out with you when you get back for a week or two, but you do you. I'm not putting my foot down or anything.
Sure.
And then her tour group emailed her saying like, hey, you can still come, but we're canceling 90% of the events.
No.
And she was just like, okay, no, I'm good. So she's going somewhere else. But there's a fun coronavirus anecdote.
Yeah, that's totally fair that they would do that. Okay. Do you want to tell me about this GeForce Now thing? I saw you post something about this in the Discord, but I didn't look.
I was hoping you might tell me about the GeForce Now thing.
Okay,
let me take a look. I can tell you what I know. So this is what we want Stadia to be. This is game streaming, but it taps into your Steam library. This has been in beta for a while. And they came up with 2 tiers: a free tier, and then a $4.99 tier. Which you can get up for 12 months of it. That's a limited time offer. They are going to probably be increasing the price, but you can kind of get grandfathered into this one if you jump on it now. Sure. The only real difference is it's free in Founders, so $0 and $5. The Founders one gets you priority access on their servers, so there's no like queue to wait. Okay. It gets you extended session length, which is kind of the weird one.
On the free one.
They're kind of doing it based on how long you can play. So for free, you can play only for an hour long. I don't know how it resets, if it's daily or whatnot. I haven't tried it out myself. Okay. The extended one, I think that one's actually 6 hours, which is I think it's probably good enough for most people. I can't think of many times I've sat down and just gamed for 6 hours straight. They can also get RTX that way.
If your card can support it, yeah, I think, right?
Well, remember, it's not your card.
Oh, that's
their
right.
card.
It's cloud gaming. Yeah.
Yes. So I've been trying to like get it running. I need to try it on my computer because I think I need to install it on my computer. I was trying to get it like on my work computer when it first came out, just to be like, can I play some stuff? What's super weird is they're being really cagey about which games are supported. They don't have a master list on their site. They just have the option to search for a game to see if it's in their list. But you can easily go to like the subreddit and just like they've collected a list of there too. It's a lot of stuff, like every Assassin's Creed. I don't have the list in front of me, but there's quite a bit in there. I'm just super curious how well this works.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are they able to do this, but Google can't? You know, that's what's weird to me.
Google is making their own ecosystem. So
Yeah.
GeForce is not making their own ecosystem. This is supposed to tie into your like Steam library. It's supposed to tie into your Uplay library. I think I even saw that like Epic was on its way, if not already added. And again, remember, it's only specific games in there. So I'm curious, like, are publishers having to say, yes, it's okay? That's what I was saying is I don't know a ton about it. I was hoping maybe you had looked into it more as the more PC gamer
I
person.
haven't looked at all into it.
I think you should, because I think this is some serious business here.
I mean, the first thing that comes up is GeForce Now is the cloud gaming service Stadia should be. So I'm like interested because it's like, how? How is this good? Okay, yeah, I'll look into it. I'll report back. Because I'll even try this at my parents' house because they don't have like a gaming computer. So,
right. Platforms right now: Mac, PC, obviously, Android, and Shield TV.
Shield TV. Yeah.
I would love for it to come to iOS, obviously. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
But there's a free tier. That's crazy. There's a free tier. Stadia doesn't even have their free tier yet.
That is crazy.
They still don't have it. They said it's coming in the next few months, last I heard. Which was somewhat recent, but anyway, people should check this out because it is free. GeForce Now, install it on your computer, install it on another computer. I would love to hear about this. I want to get it working on mine.
So GeForce Now is now on Linux? Is this right?
I didn't see Linux.
Oh, maybe this is just somebody wanting it.
It just says GeForce Now instantly transforms nearly any laptop, desktop, Mac, Shield TV, or Android mobile device into the PC gaming rig you've always dreamed of.
I mean,
it even works with like free games that are on Steam, like Warframe's on here, Fortnite is obviously on here, Paladins, Path of Exile, Dauntless.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing their games scrolling along, Saints Row 4, Cuphead, blah, blah, blah.
I'm looking. Oh, okay. A dude created a site called GFN, GeForce Now, list.com. GFNlist.com. And it lists every game that you can think of and see if it's like what it launches from, whether it's free, if it's fully optimized for GeForce Now yet, blah, blah, blah. So if people want to take a look, there apparently is a community list going on, and this guy's spearheading like a site, like a database for it.
And it says like which launcher it's from. So most of these are Steam, but I see Uplay in there.
Like I'm trying to think of a game. What's a recent game that I've been wanting to like try out? Or what's a game that like would look good with RTX? I think they announced some more stuff.
Control was a big RTX one.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm just trying to see like what are some of the more recent games. A Plague Tale's on this list.
Yeah, Control's not on here yet.
Control's not on here, no.
Youngblood has RTX. Okay. We don't have to go back to that. It's okay. What about like a Call of Duty game? People like those Call of Duty games. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, for Modern Warfare, Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, the remake of Modern Warfare 2, multiplayer and single player. Yeah, so if you're a Call of Duty fan, they're like all on here apparently. Is that Ghosts or Ghost? I didn't see that on here. Weird.
Borderlands 3 is on here, and that's Epic Games Launcher. Anyway,
Okay. Yeah, I'll try
this
this
is
out.
worth checking
for
out.
Sure.
This is
Yep.
something to check out. Ubisoft had their investors call this morning. Like the one bit of info I saw.
Oh no, not now. I need to know what the info he saw was.
You'll never find out.
Why does this always happen?
I'm going to go ahead and load this up and get this ready here.
Yeah, I'm getting it ready too.
Likely one of the things he was about to talk about was that they announced that there's 5 AAA titles coming between April 2020 and March 2021. 3 confirmed ones are Watchdog Legions, God of Monsters, and Rainbow Six Quarantine. And they said the other 2 are also from Ubisoft's biggest franchises, which it looks like the rumor currently going around right now is a new Far Cry and a new Assassin's Creed.
Oh, hello.
Hi, you're back. I think I just did your segment for you.
Cool, thank you.
You can. Were you going to talk about the 5 AAA titles they announced? Because that's the only thing I had gotten through.
Yeah, that was basically the only info.
Man, I need to see Gods and Monsters. That seems like it could be great or
curious about
terrible. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Also, Rainbow
I'm also
Six
curious
Quarantine,
about Quarantine.
Yeah, I'm into that, so I'll definitely check that out. So
honestly, I'm excited about all of these except for like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed. I'll play Assassin's Creed because that's my like mac and cheese game. Like it'll always just be like good.
Sure.
But I'm at a point where I don't really get excited for Assassin's Creed anymore.
Yeah, that's fair for sure.
Gods and Monsters though, man. If that is Breath of the Wild 2, like let's go.
Man, I just really don't care about another Far Cry.
Yeah.
I just really don't at this point.
That's news. Let's do questions.
Okay.
If you want to send a question in, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. I'll read this first one from Kevin. In the future, humans will have computer interfaces built into their eyes. The government has tasked you with adding Easter eggs to this new technology. You have to have at least 3, and one of them must be something cool that happens when you yell the Konami code.
Okay.
So it's got to be some like AR kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Right? 3 Easter eggs.
Doom just starts running on your eyes.
What causes that?
Just the Konami code, I guess.
Oh, the Konami code one. Okay. Sure.
Even though it's not even Konami. It's just like, I feel like Doom runs on everything, so like you got to have it running on your eyes.
Or Skyrim.
Okay. What are the 3 Easter eggs? So if that's one, like, should we just name one each?
I mean, if we can think of more, if we're having trouble, like
Easter eggs.
what if there's like what's like a really like maybe it's Christmas or something. Every Christmas, if you look at a naked person, they're pixelated out their junk.
What?
I was trying to think of like a really like
Christmas
day.
And
or
why
like
not like Sunday?
Or like in Japan, like region locked to Japan or something. That would
Region
probably
locked
happen.
Oh
genitals.
Yeah.
Region locked genitals. Just say that. Just region locked genitals.
I don't want to.
I was gonna say you could have something like you say like a code and then everything is upside down for you. Everything looks upside down.
Oh my god. That'd be so disorienting. Holy shit.
It would be, but it'd be a fun little Easter egg.
What about like things just in the world? Like if you were at Abbey Road, you would see like a image of the Beatles walking across or something. Like just like little location-based Easter eggs worldwide.
Sure. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like what else would be like a cool one that isn't just like, yeah, if you go here, you can see the war that happened.
No, like King
60
Kong,
years
like
ago.
on the Empire State Building or something.
Okay. Now I'm thinking brands are going to buy this and it's going to
Totally.
get super like annoying and then everywhere is going to become Times Square. It makes me think, have you guys seen the trailer for that Ryan Reynolds movie where he's like an NPC.
Oh my god, yeah.
Nice
so
guy
bad.
or whatever it is. Yeah.
Ordinary guy or something like that.
Yeah.
And when he puts on the goggles, there's just that shot of him like looking around and everything's like crazy. I feel like that's what we're describing right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a nightmare.
Yep.
You're right. It is. And it's the future.
Okay. Let's get out of this nightmare. Hebrew Rotten writes in and says, what Patreon tier do I have to be to request Grand Poo World 2 for Patreon? I can guarantee you that if you do it, we will all play 5 minutes of it and then turn it off. So if you want
Wow,
the worst...
you're brave. You think you're going to get the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes of the start screen.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I would
technically, the answer is the $10 tier, if you're being serious.
To force us to play it, it'd be the $1 million tier.
like, I think is a good time to remind people, just because you request something doesn't mean we have to beat it. We play as much as we want, and then we talk about it.
Right.
Or can.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you also think about that as like, will this make for a good podcast episode? Because, like, if it doesn't, you guys just paid for a bad podcast episode.
But yeah, if you want to give us $10 to do it, I guess, like, who
to
are
get
we
it
to
on the
say
poll.
no?
Get it on the poll.
On the poll,
There isn't,
yeah.
like, we still have a chance that our fans would vote for something else.
They
would vote for that.
Yeah, they would.
That's when we have that one game that we've talked about that's in our back pocket that we're like, if we put this up, we know it's a guaranteed success and we're gonna hang on to it.
The saving throw, if you will.
Yeah, it's our Hail Mary shot. If anyone submits something that we know is gonna win, we're like, but it can't beat this one.
I don't know what game that would be. We'll have to discuss later. We should keep like a few of
save
those.
that nugget. Save it for a rainy day.
Yeah, we should actually have that. Alternative question. What's the longest you've played a game or watched a series despite not liking it? This doesn't include if you didn't like the ending. So played a game or watched a series despite not liking it. This is probably easier for series. I'm just trying to think of which one it might be.
I watched that new Sabrina show. I don't really like it, but I'm still watching it.
I think that series is kind of hard to hate, though. It's just kind of whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's
like
just
I'm
nothing
just like,
special.
this isn't bad. Like,
no.
That's the thing is like, watched a series despite not liking it. I don't do that. I stop watching the series and then I watch something I like.
And like, obviously from the conversation before, you don't play games you're not liking. So
right, I'll play them for a bit and I'll give them the old college try, but eventually it's like, my backlog is so long. I don't have time to play games I don't like that much.
So what would be the longest you've played a game, maybe, that you've, despite not liking it? Like, how long would you give something?
Probably something for the Patreon at this point, more than
you're right. I think it was maybe like Sonic Adventure 2 when I like had to play that game.
I was gonna say
I absolutely hated that. That's probably the only time where I'm forcing myself to keep going is when like there's something else making me play this game.
How much did I play Eagle Island? Hold on, I can tell you.
You played a lot of Eagle Island. That's true.
I played a lot of Eagle Island.
Hey, buddy. Hi.
The Switch tells you that, right?
Yeah. If it's been 2 weeks after you played it, you can go to your profile, but it only shows so many games at a time anymore. It's like 14 games, maybe. Hi. Coming up.
Yeah.
In the chat, someone's asking, Quiet Man? I enjoyed my time with Quiet Man.
That was more of a train wreck to see in action.
Yeah, that was like
that's a different deal.
I don't know. I would say I probably played 4 to 8 hours of something that I kind of didn't like before, like, really just stopping.
Okay. What about you, John? Did you answer?
For shows, yeah, like, as soon as I know I like it, I don't like it, and I've gotten past like the 3-episode trial, that's it.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I'd probably say 3 episodes.
Okay.
And games, I have a bad habit of pushing myself farther than I should, depending on whether or not it's like a quick finish or not.
Yeah.
Like if I've got a 100-hour game and I don't like it after 2 hours, I'm probably going to stop.
Sure.
But if it's like a 5-hour game and I've already put in 2 hours, I might be like, well, I've already bought it.
Yeah. Yep, I'm the same way for sure.
That's
He
another
has-
thing. Like, did I buy it? Did I play it on Game Pass? Did like Twitch give it to me?
Yeah.
That's true too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the cost investment, basically?
That's definitely a thing that is like changed playing games.
Yep.
From like the old days of like, should I buy this game? Because that was the only way to get access to a game was buying it or maybe renting it, right?
Yep. He has more to this question, apparently. Alternatively to this, what's an example of a game you've played and you just weren't sure if you liked it, but you kept playing anyways? I think this is a lot of games for me. I don't know if I like something for a while, honestly.
Playing Wonder Song right now. I don't know how I feel about that, but I haven't uninstalled it yet.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I've said this about a lot of games, and I can't think of any specific examples right now.
Yeah, I mean, Eagle Island was one of these until I firmly stopped liking it, and then I kept playing. Remnant was this for a while, and then I firmly stopped liking it as well.
Yeah, there was definitely there's a bunch of things I've played on stream where I'm like, I don't know if I enjoyed that.
I'm trying to think of positive things, though. Oh, I didn't know if I was liking... No, I can't talk about that. That's for another day. I didn't know... Okay, whatever. I didn't know if I was liking Temtem. And honestly, I still don't know. There's parts about it I like and don't like. So we'll get into more of that later.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to like Time Spinner when I started it up. Because it felt a little slower than, like, some of the... Like, I had played... The last one before I played that was Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. And, like, much more basic, but I ended up really liking that. So that was cool. Yeah.
All right. Last question comes to us from VGC Kenny, and it's a doozy. It's got 5 parts.
Oh, God.
If you were forced to body swap or Freaky Friday with each other for a week and then to the other host the next week, A, would you tell anyone?
Yes.
I think we'd give it away just in our actions, honestly.
Who would you tell?
Everybody.
I mean, I would probably tell my wife.
Yeah?
So you're in my body, you would contact your wife?
Yeah, I'd be like, hon, there's be careful of me. I don't know what's happened.
Be careful of me.
B, how long do you think you could go before wishing you had your life back each swap?
Pretty quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to life change at all.
I think it'd be nice for like a little bit. Like I'd probably go a day and then I'd be like, yeah, no, I kind of miss doing my own thing.
What's the nice part? Just like the curiosity sake of it?
Yeah, exactly. You're not curious about like, oh, this is what a normal day for this person's like, or like this is what happens for this.
It would be what I think a normal day is, but I'm in your body and I'm at your place. So like if there was something telling me like, oh, at 9:45, John has breakfast and he has this exact thing. Otherwise, it's going to be like, I'm going to have the breakfast I usually make. Hopefully, John has peanut butter in his house.
Okay, fair enough. In what ways would you troll the person you're in? Probably wouldn't, considering
they have
are
your body
in my body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And at some point, we are getting sent back.
There's kind of like a nuclear arms race, I think, of just like...
we're getting sent back?
I think that's... Yeah, it says here, each other for a week. And then you get to the other host for a week.
Because on Freaky Friday, they didn't really know. It was just, they were just kind of like, just kind of dealing with it, right? They didn't know how long this was going to last. I feel like as a result, though, you would probably end up screwing up someone's...
You would... So that's an unintentional screw up, though. Like, you're not like... I'm not going to be like, all right, I'm Sean. Now I'm just going to completely ruin his relationship or something fucked up like that.
Yeah, no.
Right.
I was thinking more like... If I was John, I would like go out for like a lobster dinner or something I know he doesn't like.
Oh my God.
Seafood. But then like
monster.
But then like it doesn't matter. He's not the one doing it.
It's like it's not like it's gonna make John like. So what is even the downside to that besides spending John's money?
That's the thing, is that the only thing you could do to troll a person that it would have a downside would be like have terrible ramifications. That maybe.
Right. I mean, the only way to be a troll is if when you swapped back, or even before that, you then told real John, "Guess what? I made your body eat lobster."
Yeah.
After you vowed never to put it in your mouth.
And then I'd be like, "Well, thanks for making me not taste it."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
as Sean, I cut off my hand. Ha ha! Good troll.
That was fun, right?
Like what?
Well, I'm gonna cut off both your hands.
Yeah.
D, what would you not want to mess with in the slightest?
Your significant others.
Yeah, relationship.
Yeah. Easily.
Family and significant other, both.
Yep, those would be super opposed.
I would leave your house and I'd go sit. I'd spend
To
time
like
with
a
my
hotel.
parents.
Oh, that's weird.
I somehow like I'd have to get the word to them, like figure it out. But then it's like, hey, I'm up here for a week. I get a week of my parents.
Yeah, I guess so. Honestly,
That's
I think
one
the
way to
three of
look at
us
it, I
would just
guess.
take it as like time off to play games. It's like,
pretty much.
why hasn't Sean been at work for 2 weeks? Oh, that's actual Sean's problem, not mine.
And the last part is, what areas would you set out to improve the life of the other people?
I wouldn't.
None.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to really tamper with their lives.
No. I really am uncomfortable with messing with the autonomy of another person, just like ethically in any way. So the fact that like I have control over them actually like would bother me so much I wouldn't do anything, basically. I'd wait out a week, essentially. Or 2 weeks, I guess.
Take your body to the gym. Lift some weights. You guys come back to your bodies and they're all sore.
Like, what the hell? This was the real prank. Exercise for a week. God damn it. Or then like the other person swaps into that body. It's like, man, like John's really weak. What the hell?
Yeah, it's a new challenge. There you go. Or it's like the other way around is like, I'm going to eat fast food the whole time. And then you just come back and like, what did you put in me?
Oh, that sounds so gross.
Why am I throwing up? Ugh.
One thing, yeah, like if we're allergic to something, maybe then we could like actually experience it.
Sure. Or if like one of us was like addicted to heroin or something.
Don't tell them about my secrets.
That's way of doing it. I was thinking it more like if you have a peanut allergy, you can finally have a peanut butter sandwich.
That's much more wholesome.
Heroin. It's just heroin. We just stepped it up to heroin.
Yep.
True.
I guess like none of us really have an addiction currently.
Not really.
Because I was gonna say one of you like you could learn what it's like to smoke like regularly, but I haven't for years now. So like
Also, why would I want to do that?
I don't know, but like you would probably
Like at the moment,
do it. If anything,
I
it would be
could-
the other way around, where if like you're in my body for like 1 week and then John in the other, and neither of you smoked, you would have probably just helped me quit because like my body would have released a dependency.
Seeing what it's like to not smoke is what you're saying?
No, because my body would have lost its dependency or like want for it.
Well, does that mean so we're in this scenario, you're still a smoker, we swap into your body.
Right.
Are we having to go through withdrawal?
Yeah. Probably.
Oh, great. So we'll just
no.
do that.
The first week person would. By the second week, it's pretty bad. It's pretty gone.
So you're just gonna come back and be like, "Wow, thanks for kicking that habit, guys."
Yeah. That would be pretty great.
That's all the questions.
That is all the questions. If people want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What are your guys' games of the week?
Temtem. Fuck Remnant.
Link's Awakening, I guess.
I'm going to give it to Puzzle Quest.
Oh.
All right. Nothing else much to talk about, but our Time Spinner episode is now live. So if you're a Patreon person, go check that out. That was a pretty good discussion If you missed the 500th episode, obviously that's up. You should definitely go listen to the 500th episode. We had a special guest. It was a good time. And anyways, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.